We are gridding up for race number 3, the final race of the night. And now, actually, we don't have Richard Aycock, and I believe that's because he would have picked up a penalty in race number 2. So it's actually Ryan Cedric starting on reverse grid pole ahead of John Langan. Then it's John Cox and Alex Dronsma starting on the second row of the grid. Watch out for him. He's been a very rapid car. Nick Alexander and Ivan Anderson starting on row 3. Then Colin Ward and Taro Tylus on row 4. Richard Spanish-Ready starting inside the top 10. Once again ahead of James Wingfield. Then it's Van Gien, Greenhow, Dobertsberger, Cook, Gomez, Harrison, Kyle Power, Alex Smith, Luke Power, and then Ishmael Basso starting in 20th place. And for the last time tonight, we're about to get underway at Silverstone. All 5 lights are on. Well, it was an incredibly long way to get the race started, but here we go, and Andrew Sexton is pulling clear already. There's been a contact at the rear of the field already. One of the cars heading off the circuit, but it is indeed the number 126 car of Ryan Cedric that leads down into the first few corners. There was a bit of an error on my timing there because Andrew Sexton not involved in this one, but it's Cox and then Langan and then Dronsma. He's maintained position. Keep an eye on Dronsma because he was right up there in the feature race, and he's only got a few cars between him and a reverse grid victory. And already looking down the inside, there's contact up at the front of the field. Dronsma through into the lead already. The top 3 completely wiped out in one corner. What was going on there?
Oh, that's such a shame. I think the driver in second place there just missed his braking point, locked up the inside wheel and just pile drived in front, and that is such a shame because Drillsma, the world just opened up for him there. He's got a massive lead.
Yeah, no, so I think it was Langan that really was sort of the innocent bystander in that, was trying to go the long way round, ended up getting collected by the 2 cars who were wiping each other out. So Alex Dronsma leads by 1.4 seconds, and side by side in the middle of Maggotts and Beckett, of course, it's Alex Van Gien, and he's moved up into 3rd place. What a move!
Van Gien, ever the aggressor there. He's got to watch out behind him from Colin Ward, who's got an excellent strip sleeve coming down to the outside. And they're almost 3 abreast there, but he's not. They've made better of it. And that's Dobertsberger also taking advantage.
Well, he's had a cracking start as well, as has Harrison. He's flown up the order, and Gomez with him, but now it's Van Gien and Ward squabbling over that 3rd place spot at the moment. Dobertsberger close behind as well as we come across the line to finish lap 1. It's been action-packed up and down the field. On board with Dobertsberger coming down the straight in the slipstream of Colin Ward there. He's going to try and take 4th place, and he runs a little bit wide through Abbey, but loses no momentum. Ward defensive to the inside into Village. Dobertsberger going to try and go the long way around. Plenty of tyre smoke. We've got locking up down the inside into the loop. Can he make this one stick? Ward is going to brave it out around the outside. Who's got the better momentum down the Wellington straight? It's Dobertsberger with a tighter line through Aintree. Still there side by side. Here comes Luca Harrison arriving on the scene. He's getting into the slipstream of Ward. He could take Dobertsberger. He could take Ward into Brooklands as well. Dobertsberger trying to get down the inside. Ward not giving this one up, and Dobertsberger now going around the outside of Luffield. This is absolutely incredible stuff. Squabbling over 4th place here, and still Ward and Dobertsberger are side by side coming down the old pit straight. It'll be Ward on the inside for Cops Corner as they disappear behind the old pit building. Ward with the line into Cops, and Dobertsberger finally has to fall back in line.
Although he did lose some momentum, so that leaves Harrison to the outside. He'll be a brave man if he goes through there. He thinks better of it. And through Maggotts and Beckett's they go. Harrison here looking menacing, but he did get that totally wrong in the middle there, and actually that made Gomez hit him.
Gomez went into the back there. He gathered it up. How did he save that? Because it looked like he was going spinning like a top. He's only lost 2 places in all that. Well, great save there by Gregoire Gomez. And is now looking at the back of Basso and Anderson. But what a save there, as the battle for 4th place is still not over. Dobertsberger trying to get around the outside. More tyre smoke as they come through. See in the front of shot there. Ward just about clinging on to that 4th place spot as they come round to tick off another lap. It's only lap 3, and it's all the thrills we were expecting. Dobertsberger trying to get around the outside of Abbey. Ward closes the door, and Harrison trying to take full advantage of that as well. And he almost contact there, and Dobbelsberger breaks deep and runs wide. Is that going to give Harrison finally the position? No, it is not. They are absolutely glued together, these cars. There's Basso and Gomez waiting in the wings as well to try and take advantage. This time, Dobbelsberger's found himself the inside line, but he's losing momentum down the straight. Harrison now coming through the middle. Is he going to take both of them into Brooklands? 3 abreast into the left-hander. My goodness me! And Harrison comes out on top.
And we've made more than one reference to Moses and the parting of the Red Sea there. Harrison just blasted straight up the middle, getting the double toe, sticking it round the outside. That was masterful overtaking, and he's not done. Colin Ward there losing out another place.
Yeah, Basso running wide on the exit of Cops Corner, but makes up the move on Ward, and Ward about to lose another spot here to Gregoire Gomez into Maggots and Beckett's, but Gomez thinks better of it and falls back in line with Mark Greenhow waiting in the wings as well. This is just thrilling stuff in a battle for 4th place.
How many other series do you see 3 abreast? Not very many, as Colin Ward goes defensive. Basso to the outside. Ward nearly slams into the side of him, but actually manages to make the defence stick. Basso will have the inside into the chicane. He just got to get his braking under control. My apologies. Yep, so Gomez does eventually make that stick into 7th.
Meanwhile, Alex Jonesworth sets the fastest lap of the race. The gap up to 2.7 over Taro Tylers, who was the silver class championship leader going into this race, and this will be a good haul of points for his championship. Van Gien consolidating 3rd at the moment, and Harrison, meanwhile, in 4th place, not pulling away from Alexander Dobbelsberger, and Ishmael Basso close behind him as well. So Basso actually the gold championship, gold leader at the moment in this race, as we see Ward still having to get his elbows out there in 8th place. We just saw in the back a shot there, was moving very tight towards the inside. And Basso here trying to find a way through on Alexander Dobbelsberger, taking that wider line through Luffield, and not getting the momentum he needs to challenge into Cops Corner. Very racy though, sitting there behind us. All 3 of them abuse the track limits at a Cops Corner. And here we see the view of the rear wing, the black and white Ace of Spades car for Dobbelsberger, looking back at Ishmael Basso, the gold class leader, and looking to gain a few more points for his championship, although losing touch a little bit through Maggots and Beckett's there.
Yeah, he couldn't make that work through the dirty air. Fantastic shots here provided by our video editor Steve Amy here. Dobbelsberger was making a great run through Maggots and Beckett's. You could just see his car dancing through the corners. Beautiful to see.
Well, they come across the line and start lap 4. Julesworth stretching his legs out at the front, and well, the question here now for the cars we were just looking at is, can they close down Alex Van Gien for 3rd place? The gap is currently 2 seconds, or it was at the start of the lap, and can they challenge Van Gien for that last spot on the podium with 6 laps remaining in this race? If they don't squabble, then surely they can start to close them down.
You've hit the nail on the head there. They've got to stop fighting each other and work together. It looks like Harrison just gapped at Dobbelsberger a little bit, and Dobbelsberger is falling back into the hands of Basso. So if those two start fighting, we've got Harrison, who, let's not forget, has got absolutely blinding pace, using all of the track limits there just to try and see if he can put in a really fast lap and get up to Van Gien. It's still at 2 seconds, but it's all to play for in the last 5 laps of the race.
Wow, Basso was getting very close there in the slipstream to the back of Dobbelsberger's car going into Cops Corner. Nothing he could do with it though, and we'll ride on board through this fantastic section of track. We go left and then right and left and right again. We never tire of flinging a single-seater through that magnificent sequence of corners. And here we'll see the slipstream in great effect. Ishmael Basso closing up on Alexander Dobbelsberger here, starting to lose touch with Luca Harrison, and Basso's had enough of looking at the back of that number 5 Ace of Spades car down the inside of Stowe Corner, and Dobbelsberger not quite able to carry the momentum around the outside, but he jams it back up the inside of the Vale chicane, but there's nothing he can do to stop Ishmael Basso from claiming 5th place there.
It was a valiant effort, but ultimately not enough. He'd got to be careful to make sure he doesn't overdo it and get himself in a good position coming into Village. Right behind him, Chris, is going to go move to the inside.
Oh yes, Dobbelsberger back down the inside and reclaims that 5th place spot, and he'll be tight towards the inside of the loop. Gregoire Gomez waiting in the wings to try and pounce if these two come together as well, and here we'll see again the speed difference as Basso carries the momentum around the outside, but Dobbelsberger will have the line into Brooklands now, and Basso once again is looking at the back of Dobbelsberger. Now, last time around, Luca Harrison in 4th place set the fastest lap of the race, but it was only 0.2 quicker than Alex Van Gien, the car he is chasing down for the last spot on the podium. He's on another good lap here, but the gap not coming down quick enough to challenge at the moment. As we just see the back of shot there, the battle for 5th place rages on. Basso again having momentum on Dobbelsberger, but wasn't able to do anything with it into Copse Corner.
Riding on board again through Beckett's, clattering those curves. That was good from Basso. He will be tucked up under the rear wing, able to just get in the drag. Dobbelsberger weaving a little bit to break the toe. It won't be enough this time around for Basso. Let's see if he can get him into the chicane.
Yeah, Dobbelsberger was the one very late on the brakes last time around into that chicane. So what has Basso got in response this time around? They will close up the concertina effect. Dobbelsberger just wagging the tail of his car a little bit through the left-hander, but nothing Basso can do about Dobbelsberger at the moment. Oh, no, we'll just say Harrison took quite a chunk out of Van Gien last time around, a good 0.6 of a second, the gap down to 1.2. And that's a bit more like it with 4 laps to go. Van Gien better be looking in his mirrors. Now that is Kyle Power going slowly across the grass there. What has happened to Kyle Power? He's obviously been in the pits at some point with damage on his car. And that is a disaster for the man who was 2nd in the championship going into this round. Meanwhile, Basso and Dobbelsberger close once again into Brooklands. And then we see Power just getting out of the way here. But here we rejoin the battle for 5th place. And they were very, very tight down into Brooklands. I think made just a little bit of contact. And Basso this time is using his momentum out of left field. He's found the line. They bang wheels down the straight. And Basso on the inside. Can he finally take the place? This has got to be one of the most thrilling battles the F3 Cup has ever seen. And Basso finally gets the move done into Beckett's.
Got the move done, but has he got enough of a gap to defend it coming down the hanger straight? Dobbelsberger and Gomez tucking up there.
Well, if anything, Gomez is the one closing up on Dobbelsberger here. Has a little look towards the inside of Stowe, but wasn't close enough to do anything with it just then. Around those final couple of corners they come once again. They tick off another lap. We have just 3 to go in this race. And now look at that. Luca Harrison in 3rd place is right on the back of Alex Van Gien now. And they're side by side down into Farm. And Harrison will go the long way round at Village. He's arrived on the scene and immediately pounced. Van Gien has to leave him some space into the loop. They both struggle with the traction on the exits. They come out that slow speed left-hander. Harrison with a tighter line through Aintree, and they're absolutely neck and neck. But look at the momentum that Van Gien has been able to carry with that outside line. He'll have to go the long way round to Brooklands as well, because you know Harrison's going to break deep and absolutely sends it to the inside and claims a spot on the podium. now we know that Van Gien is one of the most robust defenders in this championship. And if you think he's going to try and come back at Harrison, you've got another thing coming. Look at the momentum he's able to carry into Kopp's corner. Wasn't able to do anything with it, and he'll have to tuck in behind him here through Maggots and Beckett's and try and come back at him down the hanger straight. Look how much Harrison is snaking the rear of that car through this section of track. That was absolutely fantastic. So 2 laps to go after this one, and Van Gien's not through on this battle for 3rd place. This is great news for Taro Tylus because it increases his chances of staying on the podium. Van Gien looked towards the inside but couldn't do anything with it. Harrison maintains the place for now. Meanwhile, it looks like Ishmael Basso, there was a bit of contact, I think, with Dobbelsberger because he's dropped down to 9th place and was going slowly out of Luffield a few corners ago. There he is down in 9th place ahead of Colin Ward, behind Callum McIntyre from driver 61. So that particular battle has ended in tears for Basso. Dobbelsberger up in 5th place still.
What we also have, Chris, is we have Harrison and Van Gien together really dragging in on Taro Tylus in 2nd place. They're only 6/10 of a second behind. Has there been a mistake there? There's some back markers ahead, but this battle for the last 2 places on the podium is really hotting up now.
Yeah, there's still time left in this race to have something done about that. And I'll tell you one person we haven't mentioned at all in this race, because he was starting in 33rd place and has had an absolute nightmare, it seems, is the champion, Danny Henney, who I think has retired from this one because I can't see him out on track. So that is a particularly disastrous race. We were saying this that Hockenheim needs to be the drop round. Well, I think even with the victory that he scored in the feature race, may well come away with only a handful of points more than what he ended up with in Hockenheim, or maybe even less. So not a great start to the reigning champions' defence. But back to this battle for 2nd place. Alex Jonesman leads by 6.5 seconds now. We're about to enter the final lap of the race. Taro Tylus, the Silver Class Championship leader, going into this race, and is the Silver Class leader in this race so far, desperately trying to cling on to this podium spot. He is in 2nd place at the moment, but he has got Luca Harrison bearing down on him. 1 lap to go as the white flag comes out. Van Gien looks to be out of the picture at this point, so it's down between these two for the last 2 spots on the podium, and Harrison is looking very racy. Tylus goes towards the inside, but Harrison, super late on the brakes, is going to go all the way around the outside, and before they even get into the loop, Harrison is through. Now Tylus has got the better run here. He's drawn just a bit of an overlap, and through Aintree draws completely alongside. He's going to have the inside line down into Brooklands. What's Harrison going to do about this? He knows that he needs every point for the championship, but can he afford to be squabbling with a car like Tylus? Because Tylus, oh no, Tylus has dropped it out of the podium places on the final lap, wheel to wheel with Harrison, and that's not what you wanted to see at all.
Oh, he just dropped it on the power. He was slightly tighter line, having to give Harrison a little bit of space, and he just clearly got a little bit over eager. He started losing it in the middle of the corner. That is such a shame for him, spinning out of that podium place. That elevates Van Gien into 3rd, and Gomez has just taken Dobbelsberger up into 4th.
And I'll tell you, because it's such a tricky braking zone as well. Oh, but okay, Gomez was coming through, but Dobbelsberger had other ideas. It was side by side for a little bit. Yeah, it's so difficult to brake late on the inside there because you're turning and steering at the same time. But meanwhile, Alex Jonesma is approaching the final chicane and is going to take victory in race number 3, and is going to be a first victory of the season for Alex Jonesma. His 2nd in the F3 Cup. Victory for Jonesma at Silverstone. And Luca Harrison eventually will come across the line a good 7.7 seconds behind in the end. And Alex Van Gien takes a podium place as well. his first of the season, and then Gregoire Gomez in 4th place. And well, for Dronsma, it's a dream return to the championship.
And Alex, we are joining in the commentary box. So Alex, that, as you said, a dream return to the championship. Almost a dominant victory, 7.7 seconds ahead. That's one of the biggest margins we've had in missed Apex Cup history. How does it feel?
Oh man, I've missed these Saturday nights. Man, it's awesome. What a show. Yeah, wicked. I mean, the door sort of opened for me at the start, but you sort of just end up playing like mental games with yourself. And I keep hearing about Luca's ridiculous times behind. It was just trying to keep cool, but a lot of fun.
It was, and as you said, the three ahead of you clattered into each other, and the wave just parted for you. It must have felt like a massive gift.
Just a bit. I'm not too sure how I avoided the carnage, because it's definitely in my wheelhouse to join them in those occasions. But yeah, lucked out. Thank God.
Well, welcome back to the championship, and what a way to return. Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.
Wow. I don't know about you, Chris, but I think the championship's going to be looking quite different, because I'm looking at the top 6 in our standings at the moment, and none of them had a particularly good night. I'd say Harrison in 7th is really the only one. I think he could end up emerging as the championship leader here. Of course, drop scores to be taken into account as well, but wow, what a night of racing. Let's go over the results for the final race of the night. It's Alex Dronsma who takes his 2nd victory in the F3 Cup, and Luca Harrison another podium to add to his tally, as Van Gien takes his 1st of the season as well. Gregoire Gomez, more important points for his championship, in 4th place. Dobbsberger in 5th after that incredible battle with Ishmael Basso. Mark Greenhow and Tero Tylus eventually coming home 7th after that last lap spin. Callum McIntyre in 8th, and Basso coming home in 9th, with Ward in the top 10. And there you see Matt Trumpet's getting a decent result there in 16th place as well. Further down the order, we have the likes of Alex Smith, who was on the podium in race 2, and some of the drivers who were caught up in that first lap incident with John Langan as well. But there, look at the names we see at the bottom of the pile there: Kyle Power and Danny Henney. What a night. The championship is going to be looking very, very different in a few weeks' time when we return for round 3 on December the 3rd. The championship heads for the first time to the Hungaroring. Chris, any closing thoughts before we sign off?
It's wide open in the championship fight. I am looking forward to the Hungaroring massively. What a circuit. What a night. Thank you very much, Chris.
Yeah, cheers for joining me, Chris. And our thanks once again to Richard Molden and Sam Watley, our fantastic admins. And, of course, to Steve Amy, our video editor, for the wonderful stream you've seen here tonight. We will see you on December 3rd. Thanks for joining us.